So, speaking of titles announced from IDW, let's talk about the other thing they announced. Well, actually, they kind of teased this earlier in the year, but now they've kind of like full-on announced it. They have officially announced that they are taking over another Hasbro title. That's right, as you can see right here, Gem and the Holograms. Now, let me say this right now. I was never a big Gem fan. Have I watched the show? Oh yeah, I've watched it. It's not bad. It's like and I understand this was the same thing with MLP in the 80s. This was the same thing. That this was meant to be for girls while we had, boys had Transformers and G.I. Joe. Here's the thing. This never got the reboot. I think it did, it never got like a reboot. It never got like what MLP got as of now. It never had the same kind of, and I feel like you could bring out Gem, you could bring Gem back from the 80s and do something with her in the same vein as what what Lauren Faust did for MLP and what, Megan McCarthy and the rest of them have done as of today. And I feel like Hasbro hasn't done anything, up until now with Gem, because she's truly outrageous. Truly, I think the only people who've cared about Gem is Robot Chicken. Now that I think about it, up until now with IDW, you see, once again, IDW and Hasbro, they're like that. They're tight. They're tight like a tiger. And yeah, so what so far we understand is that from this Gem comic is that all we really know is that this is going to be a reboot of Gem. This is going to be a reboot of Gem and the Holograms, and that's really all we know, is that this is going to be a completely new take on the character, kind of like what I said is like maybe it needed a reboot to, from the 80s cartoon to get a little new life into it. And you know what? I'm cool with this. I'm pretty cool with this. Will I check this out? Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Depending on how the reviews are, because like I said, I wasn't the biggest Gem fan. Did I hate Gem? No. But I didn't really care. Like, it followed the same kind of stories. Like, oh, we've got to beat the Misfits at a musical competition or something like that. Play your music. And the music's not bad. For 80s pop music, if animated-wise, it's not terrible. The music wasn't terrible most of the time. But, yeah. I mean, if anything, if you've seen MLP Rainbow Rocks, the new Equestria Girls movie, you can clearly see the Gem influence in that movie. I shit you not. Go watch it and then go watch an episode of Gem. You will completely be mind-fucked of how similar some of the, the Misfits are these sirens are like the Misfits, and you can clearly see some of the, similarities between Rainbow Rocks and, Gem and the Holograms. So am I excited for this? Yeah. It feels like we have almost all the Hasbro titles under IDW now. And, can we bring back the Inhumanoids? Can we, IDW and Hasbro, can we bring back the Inhumanoids? Actually, I don't think anyone remembers the Inhumanoids. If you don't know what the Inhumanoids were it was a TV show about a group of scientists who wore these kick-ass battle armors to fight giant monsters that were trying to take over the world from from below ground. And Hasbro used to have these huge toys to resemble the monsters. It was really cool, but no one gave a shit about Inhumanoids because it was so disturbing. Like, seriously, monsters bled, there was actual blood in here, and some of the imagery was apparently too scary for children. But I feel like, you can bring back Inhumanoids in, comic book form. And I mean, once again, like I said, Hasbro and IDW, you guys are tight, so someone at IDW, get them to do Inhumanoids. So, getting off my rant from, begging for more Inhumanoids, because I'll sure as hell get that in the future. Let me get back to this. So, like I said, I am interested. I'll wait, but here's the thing: I'll wait for a few reviews from people who read this comic first. I have a feeling that the real Manos is going to read this. I also have a feeling that my good friend Blue Goblin 01 is going to read this. Yeah, Ed, I'm pretty sure you're going to give this a shot too, because I know you're watching this vid. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna wait and see what exactly happens with this comic. I'm gonna have to wait and see. But it is cool. Also, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is so cool! Gem and the Holograms is finally getting a comic book." Here's the better question: what took IDW so long to get this? Because seriously, like I said, IDW and Hasbro are like all buddy buddy. They are seriously all buddy buddy. A lot more buddy buddy than they are IDW is with Toho. Because seriously, Toho and them are on thin ice. And whereas with Hasbro, shit, they can do anything with the IDW comics. Like, have you seen? I haven't read it, but yeah, Angry Birds and Transformers. Fine, go ahead. Transformers and GI Joe together. Fine, we did that with Devil's Due Publishing. Shit, fuck it, do that. I feel like I'm just doing random rants right now rather than talk about the comic. So, if anything, what would really get me to read this get me to read anything with Gem? IDW. If anyone from IDW or Hasbro is watching this, I want to say right now, if there is any chance of this happening in the future, can we please get a Gem and Equestria Girls crossover? I'm just saying, Gem and Equestria Girls. Tell me that would not make so much sense. They're both Hasbro and IDW titles. They're both have something to do with music and fighting people who have music. Tell me this would not be perfect. Do not, you can't tell me with a straight face this would not be perfect. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, do that, if anything, get Gem and Equestria Girls. There you go. Doesn't have to be MLP, just, I feel like it would work better with it. You can do MLP Gem, because that's your two that was your two originally meant for girls titles coming together, but I think it would work better if it was Equestria Girls, because again, like I said, you can clearly see the influence of Gem and the Holograms in Equestria Girls. Why did my brain just have a brain fart there? I mean, seriously, the whole story can be Gem going to Canterlot High to do it like a promotion for her tour. The Sirens show up and they team up with what is it? The bad guys, the Misfits, which I'm surprised they never got sued by the actual Misfits. The actual band, the Misfits. So you have them show up. There's a battle of the bands between Gem and Gem and the Holograms team up with the Rain Booms to battle, the Sirens and the Misfits. And yeah, there's your story right there. Boom. Give it the IDW, call me. I also have a really kick-ass idea for a Transformers My Little Pony crossover. I'm just saying I'm available. Anyway, so once again, you guys tell me, what do you guys think of Gem coming to IDW Comics? You guys like the idea? You guys hate the idea? And what do you want to see done with Gem and the Holograms? Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.